Welcome to the inaugural episode of Sportsball 101, where I'm live reacting to the Rousey Carano fights in the undercard. So you see my wife, Halt Cindy, in the chair next to me.
I'm not looking very hot today, though. I have no makeup on.
Well,
My
bunch
hair's
of
a
lies,
mess,
bunch of
and I'm in a
lies,
bunch
bunch of lies,
sweat
bunch
outfit.
of lies,
Like
defamations. So,
which camera am I supposed to look into?
you're supposed to look into this one. It's
Okay.
the only camera there is.
Well, there's those around there, but I guess
No, those up there, like bullshit.
okay. Well,
So this live stream needs to, or this Netflix, brought to you by MVP Productions, Jake Paul's nonsense. So should be going live here in just a second. But is it going to go live? That's the question.
yeah, sounds like they might have some.
So let's see if this goes live. Here we go. One of the most anticipated fights in decades, they're saying. One that has lingered for years. That is, we all wanted to see Rousey and Carano in their primes when they were still relevant MMA fighters. But we get to settle for 40-year-old Gina Carano and 40-year-old Rhonda Rousey. Rhonda Rousey obviously got beaten into retirement by Amanda, the Lioness Nunez, because she tried to stand and trade with her and strike. And, of course, they're doing the opening sizzle reel. There's Rhonda, or is that Gina? Yeah. It's basically, here's Gina. She's sparring. She's sweating. Her hair's braided. It's the sizzle reel that they put in with like the female fighters.
Who's anticipated to win?
Who's anticipated to win?
Yeah.
If it's just strictly a judo fight, that's going to be Ronda Rousey. If it's a fight that stays standing, Gina Carano obviously has the advantage. Gina Carano would have stayed on top of Chris Cyborg when she had her down and she had a full mount. She would have beaten the shit out of Cyborg. But she didn't. She got off of her for some reason. I
think that one's going to win.
Who, Rhonda?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the Judica.
Who's this?
This is Gina Carano.
Gina.
The brunette.
Gina's going to win.
Yeah, if Rhonda actually makes the mistake of trying to strike with Gina Carano, the fight that everyone's looking for, though, I think, is the Nate Diaz Platinum Mike Perry fight. Somebody is getting knocked out. That is a guarantee. This fight is not going the distance. So these are two guys who bring violence all the time. Francis Ngannou, he should easily dispose of his opponent. Ngannou is probably one of the most fearsome heavyweight MMA strikers of all time. That's Ngannou gave a credible apportioning of himself, or credible. He showed out when he was boxing. He did, I think, 2 professional boxing fights. And this is a dude who has terrifying power, so I would expect his fight to be over quite quickly. So let's see. Here we go. We're in the Intuit Dome, and say what you will about Jake Paul. He knows how to put on a big production, and that's exactly what's happening here.
Interesting, though. There are a lot of empty seats in that stadium.
There are a lot of empty seats in that stadium. We're early yet, but doesn't look like the turnout is anywhere near what it should be.
No,
but hell, they got their money from Netflix for this. Here is, doing the undercard. I don't know who Saladin Parnassi and this other guy are. Junior Dos Santos, former UFC heavyweight champion. He's apparently on here with this rebellis España. And, of course, we have former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley, MMA hanger-on Ariel Helwani, and whoever this woman is. They always throw in a woman. Not even credible MMA fighter to color commentate.
There is 2 female fighters here, so they have to.
Yeah, but they could have got somebody like Holly Holm, or somebody who's actually been a fighter. It is an MVP production, so I don't know why they didn't get somebody like Amanda Serrano, who is their figurehead female boxer. Shout out to Amanda Serrano. She won her first 2 fights against Katie Taylor. So here we are. Queuing up, there's the boring pre-fight commentary. The clock is ticking down at Junior Dos Santos taking on this rebellis España, whatever his name is. Despaigene. He's a nobody. I've never heard of him before. Junior should whoop his ass. Junior is a bad man. At least he used to be. We'll find out if he's still bad enough to put somebody on their back tonight. Here's Ariel Helwani.
I'm glad you can keep all these people straight.
Well, Ariel, he's there because he's an MMA journalist who gets slapped around by MMA fighters for talking smack on social media. Tyron's there because he took a dive twice against Jake Paul in boxing matches. Got knocked out. But he made his bag. He got paid. You know, that's what this is.
That's ultimately all that matters.
That's as long as you get paid. As long as you get paid. So, honey, thank you for doing this for however long you're down here with me. This is marriage right here. This is compromise. This is God, there are a lot of empty seats.
Yeah.
Guess nobody wants to see Junior Dos Santos. Those seats should fill up by the time Carano and Rousey are out here.
Maybe they're just coming in late from dinner still.
I don't know.
Find out.
But like any MVP production on Netflix, there's going to be a fair amount of commentary in the lead up to the fight. So we got to listen to these three guys, these two guys and this girl, with the caked on makeup, commentate for 12 minutes.
Well, I don't. You're not talking about the men's physical appearance.
Yes, I am. Ariel Helwani is ugly as shit. Like Ariel Helwani clearly successfully dodged the coat hanger when his mom was pregnant.
Would you stop?
My wife is appalled by my rhetorical overreach. It's true. Ariel Helwani's a disgusting-looking human being. He's the high school paper guy. Never played a sport. Was never worth anything. Hey, shout out to my wife also for trimming me up.
I did.
Keeping me
Keeping
keeping
clean
me groomed.
and shaved and groomed and ready
Otherwise I look like the mangy beast I am.
He wouldn't let me shave up front his goatee though. I couldn't touch that.
No. Couldn't touch that at all.
I took some jabs at it though, and did kind of.
Yeah, she's just doing her best.
There were hairs kind of strangling out there, and I'm just like, we got to do something.
There are commercials on Netflix for Total Wireless. Samsung Galaxy on us. It's all the little entry-level Samsung Galaxies.
Well, I'm
the
assuming
Total Wireless power move for when you have shitty credit and you can't get a real cell phone plan.
Oh my goodness, would you stop?
We all know you people are out there, you subprime borrowers, tanking the economy.
There's nothing wrong with the Samsung phone.
With your $1,000 Dodge Charger car payment. We all know. We all know what America runs on. It doesn't run on Duncan. It runs on debt. Here we have
Speaking of
cavemen in some
now
sort of a
$39
museum
trillion
exhibit.
in
Oh,
debt.
toilet paper under glass. That's new.
You didn't even hear what I said.
What?
I said the U.S. debt has now reached $39 trillion today.
Yeah, that ought to be terrifying. It won't be to any of you. Because, even though the dollar is being devalued and you're paying $5 a gallon for gas, I mean, if he won't get up for all those Epstein files, like child rape and cannibalism and all the other shit that was in those files, like, why would you care about $39 trillion in national debt?
It's chump change.
Yeah. Here we go. It looks like Sacha Baron Cohen has a new movie, Ladies First, rated R, of course, because it's Sacha Baron Cohen.
And I will be skipping that.
Of course, my wife, she's a classy lady. She doesn't watch R-rated comedies. And we're back from the commercial break to see Tyron. I got knocked out twice by Jake Paul, Woodley, Ariel Helwani with his shaved head, and whoever this woman is.
I don't know, but it's disappointing there's not as many people there.
It is somewhat disappointing, except for the fact that MVP and Jake Paul clearly got their money from Netflix and probably a lot of these commercial sponsors. So, here's Tyron Woodley talking. he got out in time not to have CTE and Parkinson's, slurred speech. He puts the correct enunciation on the right syllable. So he got out of the fight game, got his bag. He looks happily retired. It's a good looking suit. Here we go. Here we go. Slowly, slowly grinding towards Junior Dos Santos. And then there's Ariel Helwani, who couldn't be bothered to get a full shave. That's why he's got the 5 o'clock shadow above his beard line.
What was that?
I don't know what that was. Probably our neighbor's kids acting up again. Yes, here we go. We've been going for 18 minutes. It's a fight on Netflix, so it takes forever for the actual fight to occur, which is why you're being entertained by my color commentary and my wife's bemused face. She has to put up with me all day.
I don't know anything about MMA fighting, boxing, or any of it, so I'll be completely useless in this.
Here's Cain Velasquez. Oh, out of prison, looking good. Cain Velasquez, an American hero. He chased the dude who molested his kid and fired into the car. And the only problem I have with Cain Velasquez is he hit another person as opposed to killing the guy who actually killed actually molested his daughter.
Wow.
So here's Cain. Like, why would you pick that dude? It's like, how stupid do you have to be? That dude looks terrifying.
Oh, yeah, that totally blows your theory.
You have to pick that dude's kid.
Yeah,
if the dad is perceived as a threat, usually the pedophile will avoid molesting their kid. Cain Velasquez, former UFC champion, heavyweight champion, beat the shit out of Brock Lesnar. And you want to pick that dude? You want to target that dude's kid? I think not. And here's this woman with her slick back, bottle blonde hair, and her caked on makeup. What is it with these women? With their lip fillers and cheek fillers and everything. Like, they don't look good. Like Barbie on acid. But shout out to Cain. Cain did what any father would do. He is apparently out of prison. Free Cain. Every decent human being was saying free Cain. He shouldn't have done jail time at all. He shouldn't be a convicted felon.
But he killed someone.
No, he shot.
He shot him but didn't kill him.
Shot another dude in the car who was fleeing with the guy who molested his daughter. So,
how can you get that screwed up?
How can you get that screwed up?
Yeah.
Well, they were in moving vehicles. You have to be forgiving. Cain's intentions were good. And here's Kenny Kenflo Florian, former UFC lightweight, I believe. Long retired, never got championship gold, but good guy. And here's some other high school paper nerd sitting next to him. Probably never been in a fight a day in his life.
Doesn't look like it.
No, his only fight is with a scale in his bathroom. It's looking kind of pudgy.
JJ.
My wife wants me to be nice all the time, and that means lying. Oh, that guy's svelte, honey. He is in shape with his second chin.
No, he's clearly the pencil pusher.
Yeah, he looks like he has problems with his liver and his kidneys. like his pasty skin tone. Here we go. Junior Dos Santos and Rebeles de Spain, who's apparently from Puerto Rico and likes to bleach his hair. And, of course, Junior Dos Santos
clearly had
looking
his
like your
nose
dad
broken.
when you came in after curfew.
Oh my God. He looks sad. Oh dear.
Can you imagine like having one of these guys as your dad? Like,
Oh dear.
just
The
how
ears.
terrifying that would be.
I mean, this ear was clear. Somebody bit that ear.
That's cauliflower ear.
That is.
That hasn't been drained. So it is 3 5-minute rounds. No kicking or kneeing head of grounded opponent. Where's the fun in that? No strikes to spine, back of head, or groin. No grabbing cage with fingers or toes. Other than that, you can kill them. They got those little MMA gloves. And this is why we tune in, folks. We tune in. Rebellis was apparently the 2012 Olympic bronze medalist in Taekwondo. He is the karate combat heavyweight champion in all 5 of his MMA wins via first round KO or TKO. Unfortunately, he is going up against Junior Dos Santos, the Brazilian, 21-10, but some of those wins occurred as UFC heavyweight champion. And of course, we've got low rent enterprise rent-a-card Cody Big Mo Momertz announcing. Couldn't spring for Bruce or Mike Buffer. It is MVP Productions. And then we got the 2 ring whores standing there in their little bejeweled halter tops and stuff. So they're there with their boobs cinched up to their clavicles. We love the fight game here at Sportsball. We truly do. Anybody who wants to hop in the live chat, all 3 of you watching, you're welcome to do so at any time. I do acknowledge my viewers. Here we go. Here's Rebellis, the sacrificial big as hell lamb to Junior Dos Santos.
No,
look at
I
the
wouldn't mess with
calves
him.
and quads on
I
that
know.
dude.
Look at that. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely in shape for this fight, and he's carrying the Puerto Rican flag, the territory where it's the one place in the United States you don't have to pay income tax. So, shout out to Puerto Rico, America's tax shelter. We should move to Puerto Rico, honey.
No,
I'm tired of
I
paying
don't
federal
think
income
so.
taxes.
Yeah, no.
Tired.
Apparently, it's in pretty bad shape.
Of course, it's in bad shape. That's
from
why you get a
the
tax
last
break for living there.
hurricane.
That's why you get a tax break for living there. Just look at the branding. His entire fight team, his corner, is wearing Most Valuable Promotions hoodies and shirts. He's dapping everybody up in his corner. And here we go. Vaseline over the eyebrows.
That's how they slide.
Yeah, basically it's going to slide right off, and hopefully you won't get cut. Of course you're going to get cut. You're fighting Junior Dos Santos. We're going to find out how good this guy is. Probably not that good.
How much money do you think he'll make off this fight?
Probably 6 figures, easily.
6 figures.
6 figures to go in there and get knocked out in under 5 minutes.
Well, he's got to at least put a good face on, make it sound plausible that he might win.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big, mean-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
Most ordinary people wouldn't want to fight him. But I have a Glock, so I wouldn't be worried. Here's Junior, the Brazilian beast, looking like your dad when you come in off a curfew or after curfew. 14 knockdowns, most in UFC history. Things are not looking good for Rebellis, the Puerto Rican guy.
He should be making enough money, though, to fix
That
ear.
He won 9 fights. Look.
Ear looks really bad.
That's the most damage you've taken in your MMA career is that you have cauliflower ear. You're doing all right.
Well.
Here is Rebellis de Spain.
Oh, gosh.
And here is Junior. Junior looks happy.
His, braces. It looks.
No, that's his mouthpiece, honey. Here is Junior Dos Santos, otherwise known as Cigano, just making his way down the tunnel. The Rocky moment. He's heard the whispers. He's heard that he's past his peak. He is past his peak. That's why he's no longer in the UFC. But here's the thing, like, he might be past his peak, but he's still Junior Dos Santos. He's still Cigano. He's still the guy with the most knockdowns in UFC history, like UFC heavyweight history. He's the longest win streak in UFC heavyweight history.
Wait a second, I thought the ladies were supposed to fight first.
No, the ladies are the headliners, honey, because this is feminism.
Oh, okay.
We want to see women beat the shit out of each other last. Look at Junior's nose.
That
nose has been broken multiple times.
That's why I said at the beginning of this. I'm like, his nose has been broken.
Oh, yeah.
Again, you
definitely got some sinus problems.
You'd think he'd have enough money to get that fixed.
He does have enough money, but that nose is a badge of honor. Those ears, badge of honor. That's.
He can't breathe at night, so he's got to.
Oh, he's got a CPAP, yeah. But here's the thing: ain't nobody messing with Junior. Ain't nobody squaring up with Junior outside of this rebellious guy.
How old is he?
He's got to be in his mid-40s by now.
Okay, because I'm like, yeah, he's jumping around.
Because he was big in the UFC a decade ago.
Flopping. Not that I should talk.
That's what happens when you go off testosterone and whatever the hell he was on as an active fighter, okay? If they make these guys piss into a cup for a drug test, the cup is going to melt. Okay, that's how roided up they were back in the day. So
oh my gosh. You mean I got to sit through all of this to see the ladies?
Yes.
For how long?
A few hours. Frank Trigg is the referee. This is Frank Trigg, who is most well known for falling straight backwards when Matt Hughes sunk a rear naked choke in. So.
Yeah, he's definitely more fit and in shape.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also got a beard. I like clean-shaven Frank Trigg. But be that as it may, here we go. We've got 5-2 Rebellos de Spain fighting out of Orlando, Florida, from Puerto Rico. He is apparently the karate kid.
Is that what I saw? There are outside of the ring cheerleaders.
There's not outside of there's ring whores, honey.
Okay, these are outside ring whores.
Yeah, so they switch in a rotation. Each one of them does a round with the ring card, and so they walk around and they carry like some sort of cardboard that says the round it is. And that's their whole thing, because pretty women, they have it easy in the world. Like, pretty women without any principles or self-respect, they have it easy in the world. So they're just like, look at me, I'm a ring card girl.
Well,
Strange men see me at these pay-per-view fights and masturbate to me later because they're losers. That's how it goes, folks. And that is why you tune into Sportsball for my scintillating commentary and my wife's facial expressions while I talk.
Oh, there they are.
There they are. Yes, they're meeting
Why
at the
is
mini.
he hugging him? Oh, I see.
He's putting the microphone under Frank Trigg, the referee's arm, so that he can give the fighters their pre-fight instructions.
Okay.
And here we go. Here's bleach blonde black dude and Junior Dos Santos, who has no hair and therefore no reason to bleach anything. So here we go. Live reaction as it happens. Don't expect this fight to last long. Here's Junior. Junior's dancing around. I don't know if I'd come down with my hands around my waist if I were fighting Junior Dos Santos, but the Karate Kid apparently believes he can control range and distance.
What?
So, Junior with the leg kick
He,
causes Rebellos
he is bigger
to...
than him.
Oh, Rebellos is a big dude. There's no doubt about that. Junior's not small. Junior's probably 245, 250 pounds.
Yeah,
And
well,
Rebellos...
he's kind of weird. He doesn't have his hands up.
Yeah, he's like his hands are not up, and that is inviting Junior to step inside.
Oh.
And Junior tries to go for the takedown, denied. Rebellis here, he has a pretty wide stance.
Oh.
Here we go. He got kicked. He got a leg kick on the inside of his right leg, and that folded him. This is why you don't stay on the outside against Junior, because Junior can hurt you with his legs or his hands.
Just barely touched him.
When you got 250 pounds behind that kick, you don't have to touch much. But we've seen Rebellis go down twice from leg kicks. And Rebellis, his hands are down around his legs.
Yeah.
That is stupid. He clearly thinks he has a speed advantage. Here's Junior. All he has to do is let loose with like an overhand. And Rebellis tagged him twice. Backed him off. Junior looking for the opening, looking for the kicks to set up something so he can go for a takedown. But Junior should just focus on like hitting Rebellis. Rebellis is moving forward. Oh, uppercut by Rebellis. Okay, so Junior's letting this guy into the fight. Rebellis is just winging shots.
Ooh,
Every time he comes in, Rebellis starting to unload. Caught Junior coming in. Junior going for that takedown. And got caught with an uppercut. Oh, another leg kick. Knocks Rebellis down. Rebellis back up. Junior is... Junior is chopping away at the legs. He needs to do that a lot more as opposed to going for takedowns, because clearly Rebellis, with the hands down the way that it is, the way that they are, he's looking at a situation where, my goodness.
Way. That is no
Rebellis
way.
with a straight right catches Junior and knocks him out.
No.
I stand corrected. Rebellis is reckless, kept his hands down around his waist the entire fight and caught Junior with a shot that knocked Junior straight out. Junior is bleeding from a cut underneath his eye, and it looks like his mouth got busted too. So Rebellis moves to 6-2. 6 first-round knockouts. All 6 of his wins are by first-round knockout. He just knocked off an old legend. Oh, it's done.
It's done? He won?
That is, yeah. That's a knockout.
Oh, wow.
Holding up the Puerto Rican flag.
That's short.
Yeah, Junior. You've seen better days. You should have. Look at this. Oh, right hand. Right down the middle. Oh. Caught him in the jaw. The first punch
right there.
Caught him like right up, right on his cheek. The other right caught him. Oh, right there on the jaw. Then 3-punch combination. Right, left, right.
Oh.
Bam.
Oh.
Junior is old. Junior should have stayed with leg kicks.
That.
Of course.
He should have stayed retired.
With his hands down like that, and he left his entire front open. A high kick probably would have. No. No, somebody younger and whatnot will eat him alive. But 6-2, I would gather that he has lost his other 2 fights by getting pieced up because he keeps his hands low. And I guess he felt that Junior was going to keep going for takedowns, and he's probably right. Junior did, and Junior kept getting caught on the way in, as opposed to just chopping his legs down, going for the distance. So now we have the Netflix adaptation of Man on Fire. It was a good movie that starred Denzel back in the day.
Looks like a guy film, so I always
Oh
skip
yeah,
that.
it's Man on Fire is a total guy film, especially when he stuck the explosive suppository up the guy's butt. You know, that's what you up your ass right now.
Oh my God.
That's what Denzel said to him. That's what's up your ass right now.
Oh my God.
That's how you extract the location of a girl. Shout out to Denzel for his role as Creasy. I believe it was Elle Fanning who was in that with him. It's one of her early roles.
No. Oh, we got another ring horde that you.
Yeah, we got a
call
couple of
them.
ring whores in the background just sitting there ornamental because they have no
those are the
self-respect.
original two. We have a
Of course,
new one
we-
here, right here. Who's this?
I don't know who that is. It's just some attractive woman asking questions. I guess his translator. He doesn't speak English. He
Oh.
speaks Spanish. But he clocked him right, left, right, and that last right was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Junior crumpled. Junior was out.
Yes.
Oh, poor Junior
He was
Dos
out
Santos.
before he hit the floor. Out.
You killed the legend who was way past his prime.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
He better stay at home next time.
You were the 2012 Taekwondo Olympic bronze medalist, and now
Yeah, that was 12 years or 14. No, wait, yeah.
yeah, you
12
put
years ago.
14 years ago.
14 years ago. Yeah.
And now you have added Junior Dos Santos to your resume.
Oh,
And of course, we got Ariel Helwani. Yep, this chick speaks Spanish. She's there to speak Spanish to Rebellis. Cannot be bothered to learn English.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I'm resisting the urge to say something borderline racist right
No,
now because
don't.
my wife is
that's right.
on the live
You
stream
have to
with me.
behave when I'm here.
Yeah, when you're here. That's your whole reason to stay down in this basement with me.
Mm. Well, I won't be here all night, so.
I won't be here all night, but you better be good, JJ. You better be good. My poor wife, she puts up with a lot. You want something to drink or anything, honey?
No, I don't feel like having any non-alcoholic beverages.
We have
No sparkly drinks either.
no sparkling.
I can't do carbonation.
We have Powerade Zero Strawberry.
No, that gives me migraines. I don't think you have anything in there for me.
No, probably not.
So,
Should have gotten some sweet tea.
sort of.
Should have thought about that when we were out later. But my wife, she's like, no, I don't really want you to spend money.
Well, I'm going to
Here we
be
go.
out all week buying food and snacks and all kinds of stuff when I go to Colorado. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
she's going to Colorado and abandoning me next week.
tomorrow.
It starts
actually,
tomorrow. Ugh. Love has its limits, I guess. So, do you want the winner, or are you saying that it's Francis Ngannou? This guy says he wants to fight Francis Ngannou next. He should not want that. Not based on what we saw tonight.
Not when you don't hold your hands up.
Oh no, Francis Ngannou is not the dude you want to keep your hands around your waist. But he's out there shadow boxing and smiling because he knocked off a 45, 50-year-old Junior Dos Santos. And of course, the ring whores are politely applauding in the background. His team is there. Not a bad night's work for Rebellis. He probably made six figures for a few minutes, plus his fight camp. So congratulations to Rebellis de Spain, whatever his name is. 6-2 record in MMA, all wins coming by virtue of by way of first round TKO or KO. So here we go. Next fight up. Oh, Gina Carano has entered the building. Gina. She's 7-1, 3 KOs, 1 sub. Her MMA career was short. She had a Muay Thai career. Was quite successful. Here's Ronda Rousey walking in all business. 12-2. Losses to Holly Holm via a vicious head kick. And, of course, a knockout where Amanda Nunes absolutely destroyed her on the feet. Other than that, she was damn good at taking people down and getting arm bars on them.
Well, I'm going to go pack.
Oh.
So I'm leaving. I'll come back for the ladies.
Saladin and some Ken Cross guy is next. So my wife is leaving. She's tired of this.
I will be back.
She lasted longer than I thought.
Text me when the women come.
Text you when the women come?
Yeah.
Can you pull this stuff out of the car? I think I left something in the back of the car, like the rotisserie chicken or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So my wife is walking around the long way. She has left us. There she goes, hot stuff. Oh my God. Oh, she's so hot. I mean, you don't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen, when your wife is willing to watch a fight with you. The night before she takes off for her trip, I've been guilt-tripping her all week. So here we go. We got more trailers. Apex, whatever that is. Dude tried to shoot. It looks like Charlize Theron with a, yep, it's Charlize. And Taron Egerton, who apparently is in this after playing Elton John in a film that I did not see. I just knew that he was the actor that played Elton John. So, good for him. Now he's in a movie with Charlize Theron. And there's some sort of commercial about a chick drinking is custom ink. So you can customize your steel mugs and everything else. And then, of course, pancakes, under $10, Denny's. Slammin' meal deals, under $10 at Denny's. So if you want to be a fat ass, go to Denny's. You can do it cheap. And of course, here's a Sport Clips commercial. Because why the hell not? It's a game changer. You know what? Ads. Now we're doing the Roomba robot, which apparently now mops. Because of course it does. Why not? Damn well better mop. It's an expensive household appliance to do what a broom and a mop could do. Proving that we are some of the laziest people on the planet. That's why we need Roombas. Lazy, filthy, too much disposable income people. And then, of course, your obligatory drunk driving commercial. Buzz driving is drunk driving. That is why I only drink non-alcoholic beer. Okay? I have a moral aversion to alcohol that is carried over from my departure from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and subsequent rebaptism in a Christian church. Ooh. But here's Saladin Parnasse of France and Kenneth Cross of the USA. I've never heard of either one of these guys. 28 and 31. They're fighting at 155 pounds. Saladin is 22 and 2. Ken is 17 and 4. 7 KOs, 7 subs. 6 and 7 KOs and subs for Ken Cross. It's a three-round lightweight fight, contested at 155 pounds, and neither one of these guys or anybody I've ever heard of, and I watch MMA all the time, Syndicate MMA and Atch Academy. Those are the gyms that these guys are fighting out of. Saladin fights out of Atch, and Kenneth Cross, he fights out of Syndicate MMA. Which apparently makes him Gina Carano's teammate, so I guess that's why he's on the card. He's got 9 first-round stoppages. So Dana White's Contender Series winner, but apparently washed out of the UFC, which is why he's on an MVP Promotions card. And here he is with his little scraggly beard, standing there looking down in his little shiny, gay-ass fight robe as they announce him. Gold with blue trim. Oh, here he is. He's doing all the obligatory shuffling. As he comes out first, he's walking down with his arms spread out like Jesus. God. 31 years old. Needs a haircut. Needs a trim. Honestly, if your beard isn't as magnificent as Jacob Isbell's, you shouldn't have like any kind of a long beard. Shout out to Jacob Isbell. The Church of Jesus Christ offshoot that he's been baptized into is holding some sort of a live stream tonight about secret combinations. I would be watching that instead of this, but you know what? I'm a slut for violence. Such is life. Here we go. There's some dude, some big fat dude with tats down both arms is rubbing Vaseline all over Ken Cross's face. Not that it's going to make a difference if he gets hit directly, but, you know, we'll see. Some lady with unnaturally dyed red hair. The ref looks like Herb Dean is checking his gloves and his outfit. Herb Dean is refereeing for this, it looks like. Good for Herb. Picking up a check. And Ken is dancing around the cage with his arms flopping everywhere like a dork. He does a backflip. And now it's time for Saladin Parnasse, the Frenchman. Raised in Aubervilliers, a Paris suburb. Probably not a good one. Began training at age 11. 8 of his last 9 wins via stoppage. And here we go. So Saladin is making his way to the cage at the moment, and we're all watching as here we go. Camera's moving down the tunnel. Here's Saladin in his black robe with black sequin trim. I've never understood the whole concept of boxing robes or like robes in general in the fight game. Why do you need to wear a sequin bathrobe to a fight? Maybe it's just the Alabama in me, but it seems kind of incredibly gay. Like, how you gonna have any respect? I remember Floyd came out with like chinchilla. Floyd Mayweather came out with chinchilla trim on his robe. One, like I think it was the Gotti fight when he fought Arturo Gotti. He had some ridiculous, um, like robe on and boxing trunks. So here we go. Apparently, Saladin's father passed away when he was 19. Rest in power. So that's always sad. If my dad were still alive, I would hope that he'd be doing this kind of a live stream with me. That would be hilarious. If you think I'm inappropriate, you should have met my dad. Looks like this guy behind him has like some sort of Cartier sunglasses. His trainer or whatever. Herb guides him into the ring. And here comes Saladin. He's running around the ring. And of course, camera skates past the ring whores. And zooms in on Saladin and as he loosens up pre-fight. So here we go. Lots of empty seats still in the stadium. The floor looks pretty full, but the rest of the stadium looks pretty damn empty. Which we're early yet in this fight card. So here we go. We've got the judges. They've been announced. And the referee in charge when the bell rings is Jason Herzog. I guess Herb isn't going to do this. Herb is outside of the ring, checking everybody. But here's Kenneth Cross fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. 17-4, 6 KOs, 7 subs. So 13 of his victories have been by way of finish, either knockout or sub. So that bodes well for our entertainment tonight. And of course, I don't know if maybe the seats are deliberately empty because they apparently are lit up with a bunch of LEDs. Who knows? Here is Saladin fighting out of Aubervilliers, France. So he is fighting out of and representing France. And here he goes. Oh, he's jumping around. He is happy to be here as they announce him. And here we go. Let's have the fighters in the middle. And here we go. So they're about to tie up. Here's Ken Cross. Farnese has won 4 straight. Cross has won 4 in a row. This is round 1. And here we go. They touch gloves. And immediately, Cross tries to kick and gets caught. Or his legs get caught. Farnese takes him down, but he gets back to his feet. And he's trying to lock up Farnese's body. Saladin is fighting off the takedown attempt. Oh, Cross got him down. Saladin clearly doesn't want to go to the ground with Ken Cross. Might have something to do with the 7 submissions. But here we go. Cross got him up against the cage. This is gonna use a lot of energy up. And Saladin, to his credit, he has a wide base. He's spread his legs, making it harder to they switch positions in the cage. Cross is up against the cage. And now Saladin is trying to go for that single leg. Oh, he gets him down. Almost got his back. And Ken Cross is in something of a sitting position. And he's back up. So Parnasi is back against the cage. And so he's got an overhook on Cross's arm. But Cross has clearly been Cross has switched to an underhook. So Cross, these guys are going to use a lot of energy up, grappling against the fence. So you'd have to think that at some point they're going to separate, but apparently they are content 2 minutes in to hug each other up against the cage and grapple for position. Neither one of them is... Oh, nice straight right by Cross. Another one. Oh, another good jab by Saladin. Saladin. Oh, wild shot by Saladin. Cross fighting off of the fence. He's got to get off of that cage. And much tighter guard by Saladin, which enables him to be a little more defensive. And then Ken Cross immediately tries to push him up against the fence. They're switching positions on the fence. Cross has his back up against the fence, actually where the door of the cage is. And Saladin moving to go for a single leg again. Gets him down. Cross kicks him. This is... Oh, Saladin almost had his back. Oh, Saladin, full mount. Saladin has his back. Cross fighting off what looks to be positioning for a rear naked choke. Saladin, he's got Saladin's arm. He's trying to do some sort of a weird submission. He's still got wrist control on one of his arms, but now Saladin has his back, full mount from the back. He's grounding and pounding him. Cross is in trouble here. He doesn't appear to be hurt, but he's taking the shots. Cross is still moving for position. Not a good position for Cross at the moment. So Saladin, full mount on the back, gave up the body triangle, but is still just wailing on him from behind. Oh, he took 2 huge shots, and he is definitely hurt. He's all over the place. He's still defending himself, still got a lot of head movement, still got a lot of upper body movement. But that's the round right there, that little exchange. Oh, and it's over. Ken Cross decided he got tired of being hit. And Saladin from France, he pulls off the KO. Say what you will about MVP, they get people in there and there are finishes. Don't have a lot of hugging fest. Once the striking begins, somebody's getting knocked out on an MVP card. So the Frenchman pulled it off against the American. The American must now turn in his citizenship. His citizenship's being revoked for that disgraceful performance. So here we go. We've got some corner guy who looks like Henry Winkler's younger, less retarded brother. The Fonz. Over there with Saladin, and then we got Saladin's corner coming in. Oh. Cross got back up to his feet, but ate 2 huge shots and just was unable to get any kind of separation. Looks like he took a little bit of a shot there from Saladin's head in the clash. And that had to hurt. And we're back to commercials. Here's Morgan and Morgan. Some kids getting beat up against a locker. Insurance is the caption. And according to Morgan and Morgan, the bully has some other, looks like a pro wrestler of some sort. Hit him with a chair shot. Nice. Wouldn't it be great if your insurance was actually that way? And, of course, MVP promoting Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. So apparently that's a big reveal. There's going to be an all-British fight now that neither one of them has a championship belt to defend. They're finally going to tie up and make millions doing it. We're back to clips of Alex Cross getting his ass kicked on the way up. Oh, he took 2 huge shots there when he turned around. Just wasn't able to get Saladin off of him. I mean, all credit to Pernas. You know, like he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He closed huge body shots, too, on the way out. So he was digging him to the body. Didn't really catch that at the time. Like, it just looked like uppercuts. But apparently, like, one of those got through to the body and hurt. Ooh. Yeah. Probably took all the wind out of him. But that's the whole thing. A good liver shot, good shot to the solar plexus. Tough to come back from that. I remember when me and my friends would like box, spar. Liver shots are brutal. Whole body just shuts down. Mentally, you might want to keep going, but it's like your whole body just seizes up. Liver shots, man. And of course, Saladin wants to celebrate by doing a little speed shadow box in the center of the ring. And I guess they're gonna do the in-ring interview. And of course, this is another guy who doesn't speak English, so they've brought in some little lady to translate to French as Ariel Helwani conducts the interview. So, here we go. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So, Ariel is having the translator speak French to him. Here we go. Ariel is asking Saladin questions. The translator is translating them in French. And, of course, we have the ring whore in the background with her boobs cinched up to her clavicle. Good times on Netflix. I mean, we've had 2 fights and 2 finishes so far. Might be a short night. Oof. Alex Cross took a shot to the head. On the way down, he took an uppercut to the body. And then on the way down, he took a glancing blow to the head. And, of course, Saladin sitting on the cage doing the little money, making it rain at the club. Under 5 minutes worth of work, probably made 6 figures. So, good for him. He'll go back to France and pay 50% tax and It'll just be, well, this is in America, so I don't think the French government double taxes. But he'll go back to France. Um, so here we go. He thanks Netflix and MVP. He's pulling the front of his shorts down because, he wants to show off his physique, I guess. Who knows? The hardcore fans have been watching you for so many years. Do you feel the pressure? Another insightful question from Ariel Helwani. This is why Ariel Helwani makes the big bucks, so that he can ask the pressing questions that everyone wants to know the answers to from fighters that hardly anybody has ever heard of. That's life. But apparently hardcore fans know who this guy is. I guess I'm not that much of a hardcore fan. So, here we go. Cartier glasses. Corner man is still here. Atch Academy. So, not a good look for the Syndicate MMA gym. Hopefully Gina can redeem them. Gina Carano, like Ken Cross, trains out of the Syndicate. So we'll see how that works. And the winner by KO, Saladin Parnassi. It's a good showing for him. Good showing for him. Like, he did what he was supposed to do when he had the advantage on Ken Cross. Got his back. Good ground and pound. And, of course, next we have apparently Francis Ngannou and Philippe Lins. Poor Philippe. He's going to get murdered by Francis. Francis is going to beat the brakes off of him. Francis Ngannou was a terrifying individual. Like, you talk about some of the most violent knockouts in history. At least in MMA. And, of course, the fight we're all waiting for, which is Rhonda versus Gina. So, of course, the seats are lighting up in all sorts of different colors. And then Ariel's talking to the CEO of MVP MMA, because we all want to hear from him. Nakisa Badarian. And there's Michael Irvin in the background. He only snorts the finest of cocaine, Michael Irvin. So he's in the background, being Michael Irvin. Good times. University of Miami, man. Back in the day, they had some teams. Of course, the things that those teams are up to, you could not possibly get away with now. So, Michael Irvin, one of the most legendary wide receivers of all time. Here is Mr. Badarian talking about crossing over into MMA from boxing, because Jake Paul loves nothing better than to piss off Dana White of the UFC. So that's a statement of a jacket right there. Like some sort of a bright red, almost a pink jacket by Badarian. And of course Ariel, they've got shaved heads. Shaved heads, uneven lines on their beards. That's what they've got in common. So Ariel is there to... So, here we go. Badarian's already setting up like Ronda Rousey for the next fight. I'll give her options, he said. Oh, that's mighty white of you. She's got to win first. Let's see if she can go back to being an armbar specialist. Which is, she'd still be undefeated if she just stuck with judo in MMA. Nobody could stop that. But she had to strike. She looked bad as a striker. So here we go. Apparently ad 1 of 7. Jesus, 7 ads. And baseball is apparently live on Netflix. Well, that's good. I can't justify paying for Major League Baseball, MLB TV, the way I used to. Gonna pay for my kids' future and my wife's present. Oh man, MLB season pass, that used to be the shit. Here we go. We are watching and live reacting to the Carano Rousey fight card on Netflix. We started streaming 74 minutes ago. We've had 2 fights. Junior Dos Santos got knocked out. That's really unfortunate for Junior. Old legend. How old is Junior Dos Santos? Let's check that out. He is, let's see, he's only 42 years old. But I guess, when you've been in the UFC for like 30 fights, you age quickly. Should have stuck with chopping at Rebellis's legs. And then, of course, her second fight was a knockout, too. Ken Cross got knocked out by Saladin Parnasse. So we're awaiting the next fight. Jeez, they have a lot of ads. 5 of 7 on the commercial break. So it's Netflix. We pay a good bit of money a month to watch Netflix. I only watch Netflix for the closer because the season is $20 on Amazon Prime, and I'm cheap. I can just stream the entire thing, rewatch it for $20, like all 7 seasons. And my wife has patiently endured with me. She has watched the closer with me for almost 7 complete seasons now, and we're almost at the end of it. Closer, great show. Kira Sedgwick. If you want any recommendations, good show. Not a lot of language or sex or anything. So, good times. Straightforward police procedural with some humor. And there is Francis Ngannou. He is warming up backstage, and there is Philippe Lins of American Top Team, apparently, judging by his shirt. And so we're looking at backstage footage of both of them, and then we're back to the commentary desk with Ariel Helwani, Tyron Woodley, and L. Duncan, whoever that is. So she's the obligatory female. They should have had Holly Holm or Amanda Nunes or somebody like that commentating. But unfortunately, they have this L. Duncan chick who, like a lot of other women these days, wears too much makeup, has too many fillers. It's kind of disturbing to look at. What is it with women and their faces not looking real? I don't like it. And of course, there's Francis Ngannou Um, his last fight apparently was in October 2024, over a year and a half ago. So let's see what happens with Francis tonight. We're watching this scintillating live coverage or live commentary from Tyron Woodley and Ariel Helwani. And Tyron would like to stress that Philippe Lins is not a sacrificial lamb to Francis Ngannou, because otherwise, people might just expect, he's going to get the shit beat out of him, which he probably will. It's Francis Ngannou, for God's sakes. One of the most terrifying men on the planet. So, good times. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, everybody, for making Investigations and Ritual Abuses channel have 712 subscribers. That's pretty tight. We are 288 subscribers from monetization. So if you could help us out by clicking the subscribe button, sharing our content, getting other people to subscribe, that'd be great. I hate having to grouse for money for subscription revenue and stuff at the various Substacks. But it is a fact of life when you do investigative journalism that you're going to have to ask for reader and viewer support. So, in the meantime, we're sitting here and watching this back and forth sports commentary. And it is just really something, I gotta say. It's really something to watch Ariel Helwani with all the hand gestures and everything else. It's a guy who looks, I don't know, he looks suspicious to me. Always has. He's always a funny looking dude. Sure, he seems like a nice guy, kind of a nerd, but, here we go. Looks like the fight is about to be underway. So I guess Ngannou versus this Philippe Lins is next. So let's see if Philippe Lins can pull off a massive upset against Francis. No, it's just the ring horrors and the announcer standing in the ring. And here's Ariel Helwani. You're absolutely right, Ariel. There is no way that Platinum Mike Perry and Nate Diaz are going to disappoint us. So, I don't know who Jared Bruce is. Puka Nakua, they're apparently both members of the Los Angeles Rams, a team that I don't care about at all, because I'm a Broncos fan. But Puka's apparently out of rehab. Puka allegedly bit somebody and used anti-Semitic language, which kind of makes me like Puka. Apparently those allegations were false. But he would know. He was drunk as a skunk when all that happened. And this is why you don't drink around whores. It's because they're just they're gonna try to sue you or accuse you of doing something, and you shouldn't drink at all. You shouldn't drink alcohol at all. But you especially shouldn't let your guard down around gold-digging whores. So here we go. Tail of the tape. Francis is 39. Philippe is 40. Francis a couple inches taller at 6'4". Francis is 37 pounds heavier. And he has a 5-inch reach advantage, 83 inches to 78. And then, of course, 12 KOs and 5 subs, 17 finishes and 18 wins. Philippe, he has 13 finishes and 18 wins, but It's Francis, and Francis is a beast. He has a 37-pound weight advantage, and he also has a 5-inch reach advantage. And we have all seen what Francis Ngannou does with his reach advantage. He kills people. So poor Philippe. Let's root for the underdog here. Let's root for Philippe to knock Francis out and pull off the upset. Probably not going to happen, but let's root for it. So here's Philippe. He believes he's going to pull off the upset, and that's good for him. You should believe in yourself, even if it's unfounded. But he does need the blessing of God. So that's the big promo. Oh, he's slashing his throat. Oh, he wants you to know he's real tough. He's a Brazilian with a French name. Philippe Lins. He is here representing American Top Team. Look at this guy. This guy's a little fro and everything on top. Hope you win, buddy. I don't think you will, but I always root for the underdog. Philippe is in the tunnel. They're calling him out. Oh, he's doing his little slow walk. Why can't any of these guys just walk normally? Oh, he's punching the air. He's hyped. He's jumping up and down in the tunnel as they call him out. Does his walkout, arms stretched out, dapping everybody up. How must it feel to walk to the cage when you know you're about to go in there with like Francis Ngannou? Oh yeah, here we go. Outside officials checking him out. He takes a swig of water, a little sip, moistens his mouth before he puts his mouthpiece in. Oh yeah, that's... Are they putting on the Vaseline? Oh, yeah. And then, of course, there is Henry Winkler's younger, less retarded brother ringside. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Henry Winkler's brother is apparently the cut man for multiple fighters tonight. So, shout out to the Fonz. Henry Winkler. Yeah. Here we go. And this dude with the ponytail beard, it's braided down the front. The guy, oh, he's got 2 braids down the front of his beard. Good for him. That's some Jacob Isbell shit right there. Like, Jacob Isbell has a magnificent beard, which he combs and straightens. Clearly puts a lot of effort into. So shout out to Jacob Isbell and the Church of Jesus Christ and their podcast tonight on Secret Combinations, the Book of Ether. And here is Francis Ngannou, the lineal MMA heavyweight champion by virtue of the fact that he never lost his title in the cage when he left the UFC. Almost pulled off the upset against Tyson Fury. Lost by decision, but put Tyson on the floor. Acquitted himself well. In his professional boxing debut, he went up against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is apparently going to fight Anthony Joshua now that both of them have been destroyed by Alexander Usyk for the heavyweight title, and neither one of them has a belt. They're going to fight each other at long last. Eddie Hearn is going to make so much money. British boxing promoter. Francis with the false start in the tunnel, steps back, and now he's moving down the tunnel, looking like the terrifying man that he is. So Francis, I believe he's from Cameroon, and he trained and lived in France for a while. And then he became UFC heavyweight champion. Beat the shit out of everybody and left when his contract was up. Didn't re-up with the UFC because they wouldn't let him box outside of the UFC. So in his professional debut, he boxed Tyson Fury and almost pulled off the upset, which is saying something. Francis is a bad man. He almost knocked out Tyson Fury with boxing gloves. And here tonight he is going to fight Philippe Lin with those tiny-ass MMA gloves. And that's not a good thing for Philippe. Everyone say a prayer for Philippe's brain. Say a prayer that Philippe doesn't get CTE from just this fight. Francis is 39 years of age. We know about his power, but he's added more grappling skills. Oof. Why would you want to improve a Terminator? Like, if Netflix wants to be politically correct and DEI the Terminator, I nominate Francis Ngannou to take Arnold Schwarzenegger's role. Oof. The reality of it is Francis skips around the ring. And the prelude to this, he is 257 pounds. He has a 37-pound weight advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage over Philippe. This could be ugly, folks. This could be really ugly. Again, say a prayer for Philippe's brain. Say a prayer that he doesn't get CTE from this fight. So the judges, Chris Crail, Ron McCartney, and Jonathan Romero. I don't think this is going to the scorecards. Herb Dean, he is the referee for this fight. And the esteemed Herb Dean is here to referee this fight. He's a big dude, and you need a big dude when these big boys are about to knuckle up. So here's Philippe. He's 18-5. 13 of those 18 wins have been by either KO or a sub. So he's got some finishes. Fighting out of Brazil. But then, of course, he is fighting Francis Ngannou, the lineal MMA heavyweight champion by way of his time in the UFC. Just a beast. Here's Philippe. He's jumping up and down, hands raised. I hope he wins. I don't think he will. I always root for the underdog, and he's got to be a significant underdog in this fight. And here is Francis Ngannou, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada now. Apparently got tired of those French taxes. So he's 18-3. 17 of his 18 wins come by way of KO or submission. Francis Ngannou is, in many ways, the perfect MMA fighter. He is so damn big, so strong, and has marvelously good footwork for a man his size and marvelously good striking skills on the feet. That's why he managed to go a full fight with Tyson Fury and almost win. Did much better than anybody expected him to. So here we go. Little shot to the crowd with their little tin or aluminum cups with their refreshing beverages. And they touch gloves, and we're about to get this fight underway. And of all the fights, you're probably going to see a homicide here. Somebody is getting hurt. like I would say Nate Diaz and Mike Perry are going to get hurt, but those guys, they can just take so much punishment. So Linz, he moves out to the center of the ring. Francis with the kick. Thudding kick turns Linz around and moves him backward, but Linz spins back to the middle of the ring, middle of the cage actually, and dodges Francis's first punch. Francis just vicious body kicks. Linz is wise to try and grapple with him. Francis has kind of a headlock on him. Francis up against the cage. Francis with a knee to the leg. And at the end of the day, Francis is in control of Linz, which is kind of what you expect. Linz has an undercook. He's pushing Francis up against the cage, which is the only chance that Philippe Linz has in this fight is to grapple and to be better at grappling than Francis, and he probably isn't. Francis has shown pretty good takedown defense for somebody who's a striking specialist, like throughout his career. And there's another leg kick, and Francis's legs are... Oh, Philippe with his own leg kick. Oh, here we go. Francis teeing off. Philippe down. Oh, Philippe's in a bad position. Francis on top. Philippe trying to get wrist control. Francis in his guard. Philippe wisely clinches. Francis moves him up against the cage. Philippe is wrapping his arms around Francis's upper body, but Francis has his arms off. He's trying to get some separation so he can rain down some of that ground and pound on Philippe. And this is not a good position for Philippe. Up against the cage, on the bottom against a guy who is 257 pounds, 37 pounds heavier than you are, and who knows what to do in this position. Philippe getting back to his feet. He's eating some shots on the way up. But he's back on his feet. Up against the cage, moving around the perimeter of the cage. Now Francis in the center. Francis with a high kick. The thing about Francis is how well he moves for a guy that big. And Philippe is already sucking wind. Ate a huge left jab right there. Like he's keeping his hands down. He should not keep. Oh, he's trying to go for another takedown. And it didn't work. Here's Francis getting him up against the cage. Francis has a 22-3 striking advantage right now in round one. And we got a minute and 45 seconds to go. This is not looking too good for Philippe Linz. So the good news for Philippe is that Francis having him up against the cage is giving him a chance to regroup after he got tagged with that left. But Francis continues. He gets his body shots in there. Doesn't look like much, but when it's somebody like Francis who knows how to get power behind his punches, those shots hurt. And he's hit him with a good half dozen body shots. Philippe trying to go for the trip. Doesn't work. Francis continues to work in the clinch. Strike to his body. At the very least, if it stays in this position, at least Philippe isn't taking damage from a distance. They've separated. Philippe's in the center of the cage. Francis knocks him out, which is kind of what you expected would happen. Philippe looks like he doesn't know where he's at. That big black truck that just hit you, Philippe, that's Francis Ngannou. And here's some blonde chick. I'm sure I'm supposed to know her name. They zoomed in on her. She's clapping. Big amazed face at the knockout. Sorry, Philippe. Fortunately, Francis did not follow Philippe to the ground and continue beating the shit out of him. So our prayers worked. Philippe may not have CTE, but he took one hell of a shot on the way down. And, of course, 4 minutes worth of work and God knows how many millions Francis made off of this fight. Ooh. Uppercut and then an overhand left that caught Philippe, like, right on the temple, it looks like. Oof. Yeah. And Philippe immediately crumpled, and thank God Francis didn't go to the ground with him and follow up. Philippe was done. Ugh. It's a nasty business. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Sportsball 101. The Rousey versus Carano live reaction. We are in the commercial break. Ad 1 of 2, so apparently it's not 7 ads like it was in one of the other commercial breaks. Netflix and MVP trying to recoup their money. And, of course, advertising their shows. Nemesis. From the creator of Power. Nemesis. I hear my wife possibly coming down. Hot stuff. Yeah.
Phone down here and my glasses.
Did you leave your phone and your glasses down here? I don't know. Did you? I don't see them.
What's going on with the fight?
Oh, we've had 3 fights and 3 knockouts. It's looking pretty brutal. Like, Diaz versus Perry ought to be an absolute slobber knocker of a fight. Like, those two should beat the living dog shit out of each other. Oh, look at that. Just.
That's a knockout, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a knockout. Philippe's laying in there wondering who was driving the big black truck that hit him. Oh, right there in the temple.
Oh, they should have known better.
Like, why would you get into that position with Francis? Like, why would you try to wing shots? Oh.
Baby girl, come on.
Oh.
No, but she wants to be seen on camera, too.
Yeah, she wants to be in here with Daddy. Oh, here we go. Big yelps. Big drama.
Oh, my
Here we go.
Look at that. Doing that again.
Here we go.
Wow.
Squirmy wormy.
Is that his reward, that big, huge necklace?
No, that he had that necklace on the walk-in. Like, he
fought with that thing on?
No, he didn't fight with that thing on. He had to take it off.
Yes. That is gigantic.
It is gigantic. Probably $500,000 or more.
Oh, my God.
Poly Market, so it's a sponsor's jewelry.
Oh. It's a sponsor's jewelry. He doesn't get to keep
So,
it.
in addition to making probably over $1 million for 4 minutes worth of work, he's making money from Poly Market wearing that chain. Probably gets to keep that chain.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he get to keep that?
So this dude looks like something out of like one of those Street Fighter video games. That's the best way to describe Francis Ngannou. Just chiseled out of onyx. No big deal. Oh.
White boy didn't have a chance.
No, he did not. Philippe, you try to stand in front of Francis and trade, you're going to get rocked. And Philippe didn't have the skill set to get him to the ground, which is the only chance you have against Francis, is if you could somehow wrestle him and submit him. And not many people can do that. None that he's faced so far. 18-3 now, 19-3. made his bag fighting Tyson Fury, and then didn't fight for like a year in 2025. Basically a year and a half off, which you can do when you make millions and millions of dollars off of one fight. There's Jake Paul standing in the background with his scraggly beard, and
not looking as fit as he
yeah,
normally does.
no, because he got his jaw broken by Anthony Joshua, so he's been off, which was one of the more satisfying boxing knockouts ever. Anthony Joshua destroyed him. And I mean, props to Jake Paul for having the balls to get in there with Anthony Joshua in the first place. That was.
Yeah, but that maybe shut him up.
That took
Not
a.
so cocky.
Oh. I think he's still cocky. I don't think anything short of death would reduce his cockiness. But props to him for even getting in there with Anthony Joshua. And then, of course, here is someone at the commentary desk. So Francis wants to fight John Jones, which a normal human being would not want to fight John Jones. But apparently Francis does, and if anybody can beat John Jones, probably going to be Francis. And John Jones is up at the commentary desk. He is taking time off from DUIs and domestic violence arrest to come out to the MVP Productions commentary table and talk about the prospect of fighting Francis Ngannou. And if that happens, probably would have to be on MVP. I don't know if John's been released from his contract with the UFC yet. And of course, Jake Paul wants to fight Francis Ngannou because Jake Paul is dumb as shit. So that's why Jake Paul is there. He wants to box Francis Ngannou. And Francis is denigrating Jake Paul while Jake Paul is in the cage with him. Guy just gave you a payday. Gonna shit on him. But you can do that when you're Francis Ngannou. You can absolutely do that. My wife is departed. She has left the room. Her love only has so many limits. She doesn't want to post-fight interviews. So Francis just talking smack to Jake Paul right to his face. Calling him a boy. Maybe he's a man now. And here's Jake Paul. So Jake Paul is coming back, As a fighter, he can fight. I'm very impressed with Francis and his performance. And, of course, the obligatory, we're making history tonight. MVP is here to get fighters paid more. Good for MVP in that respect. Hopefully Francis got his bag from MVP and Polymarket, whose huge ass bejeweled chain he is wearing in his post-fight interview. But if Jake Paul thinks that he's going to get into a boxing ring and come out alive with Francis Ngannou, he's going to get mauled. Sorry to tell him, but he's going to get hurt. So, of course, there's a side-by-side, the John Jones on one side and Francis down in the ring. And John is smiling. So, setting the stage for the two of them to tie up at some point. That's a fight that everybody wants to see. We'll see if John can stay out of legal trouble long enough to actually have that fight come to fruition. So 3 fights, 3 knockouts. Francis knocking out Philippe Lins. Saladin knocking out Ken Cross. I mean, you can say what you want about MVP and Jake Paul. I mean, the next fight ought to be a banger. Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. Neither one of these guys puts on a boring fight. Mike Perry, of course, has recently been in the ring over at the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And now he's tying up at MVP Productions with Nate Diaz. Yeah, and Nate Diaz, fan favorite. Nate's absolute beast. I think always puts on a good fight. And then, of course, Tyron Woodley is interviewing John Jones, who is saying he has to focus on getting out of his UFC contract because Dana White is not interested in doing business with Francis Ngannou. So that's the big impediment. Wonders never cease. We may see John manage to get out of that contract, or we might see MVP and the UFC work together. Francis is picking up what I hope is his daughter and hugging another daughter. If not, that's terrifying. If he's just picking random girls up out of the crowd. But we'll see. Francis makes his way to the back. Everybody loves Francis. He is doing the obligatory press the flesh post mauling someone. Of course, people want to take selfies with Francis. Everybody's shaking hands with Francis, who has an escort of the 2 ring whores. They're turning around, looking at the camera. They're just there. Francis, I think, is talking to someone in the crowd. Is that Justin Gaethje? Who knows? No, that's not. Oh, that's Dan Henderson. Hendo with the H-bomb. His overhand punches were devastating. When he was a fighter, Dan Henderson was an animal. Good guy. So Francis is slowly making his way to the back while John Jones talks with Tyron Woodley. So we'll see. I'm going to go take a little bathroom break, and we'll be right back. So you'll see the Sportsball logo come up. So we're going to switch that over. And we're back. Pantera's Revolution Is My Name was the song at the break. So we're back at Sportsball's inaugural episode. Waiting for Platinum Mike Perry and Nate Diaz to tie up for our main event. Gina Carano taking on Ronda Rousey. They're doing a little background video spiel where she's mopping up the chicken shit at her farm with a big-ass horse carrier in the back. Because that's where her millions went from the WWE and the UFC. So apparently she wants to mop chicken shit out of a chicken coop now. So she's talking about balance on a farm. Not much different from balance in a dojo, I guess. So there she is. Ronda Rousey, through the years. She was a prodigy at judo. Her mother, I believe, was a world champion, if I recall correctly. So, good times there. She, won bronze at the 2008 Summer Olympics. So, here we go. That's right. We're waiting for this fight. Here is Rousey talking about how she peaked in judo in her mid-20s. She needed a break from judo, so she transitioned to MMA. Largely because Gina Carano kind of paved the way for all the women. She's photogenic. She's a good striker. So, for her very short career, Gina Carano opened a lot of doors for a lot of women in MMA. But that all came to a crashing halt when she faced Chris Cyborg. That was the last time we saw Gina Carano, over a decade ago, after she lost to Cyborg. And here's, the sizzle reel of Ronda Rousey doing judo throws to somebody who's cooperating with her. Who the hell knows? Here's the dudes up on the cage as Rhonda walks out. They didn't show her any highlights from her WWE career with all those pathetic strikes she attempted, which made the wrestling look faker than it already was. But it's Ronda Rousey. She's back after some time, and then Jake Paul is up at the commentary desk with Ariel and Duncan, whatever her first name is. So he's tooting his own horn. He's changing the sport of MMA, putting these events on with all these ex-UFC fighters. It's been a good card. Give him credit where credit's due. You've had 3 fights and 3 knockouts, which is what people watch MMA for. They watch to see somebody get knocked out. It's pretty straightforward. And, of course, the fact that it's on Netflix means you don't have to pay for a pay-per-view. But then again, the UFC is apparently on Paramount now. So you don't have to pay a pay-per-view for them either. So let's see. Let's see where we're at. So he's talking about how his MVP brand and promotion does it. Wants to shout out the fighters, all the work that they did. The thing about Jake Paul is he has proven himself to be something of a boxer. Not a high level boxer, but much better than anybody expected. And while he is an insufferable douchebag, ex child star, um, he's kind of grown into himself. He's become less insufferable and more human by way of getting his jaw broken by Anthony Joshua. But at the end of the day, he put on a good promotion here tonight, and I think we all want to see the Carano-Rousey fight. We wanted to see that 10 years ago. So let's see how that fight turns out. But the other fight that you really want to see is Platinum Mike Perry and Nate Diaz. That ought to be a barn burner of a fight. It may not end in a knockout, but it will end in violence, substantial violence. So we always love the Diaz brothers. Like there's never been a stinker of a fight put on by the Diaz brothers, Nate and Nick. Hope Nick Diaz is doing well. Apparently, he was having some health issues recently, and there was some question as to whether or not he was voluntarily down in Mexico at a rehab facility. At the end of the day, he was always kind of a reluctant fighter. So it was his way out of Stockton, his way to live a comfortable life. He got in, he got out. Last fight he had with Robbie Lawler was just sad. I think he just did it for the money. But you could tell, his heart wasn't in it. So you're gonna listen to Jake Paul talk about this. So here's Nate Diaz, who boxed Jake Paul, lost by decision. So we'll see. Right now, they're showing all the times where their fight was good, which is basically whenever Nate engaged. The rest of the time, it was a real stinker of a fight. Jake is saying that he leans towards Diaz as far as his pick for the fight. Because Nate's jiu-jitsu is untouchable for Mike Perry. Which is, the thing of it is, Nate he can get you on the ground or he can get you standing up. Those little slap jabs that he and his brother Nick put out there, over time that just accumulates. And both of the Diaz brothers can take some punishment. So we got some backstage footage of Gina Carano. So Gina's in the back, shadow boxing, warming up. We'll see. Gina Carano grew up in Las Vegas. She's apparently fighting out of the Syndicate MMA. I thought she was with Extreme Couture for a while, Randy Couture's gym. But apparently she switched. And the background video that they make you sit through, where the fighters talk about their background. Apparently, Gina is married to this guy named Kevin. So Gina either was married to Kevin or is married to Kevin, but so apparently Kevin decided to stop drinking and start training, and Gina followed him. So Gina was successful in Muay Thai. I think she had like a 12-2 record, and then she had a 7-1 record in MMA. And when she was an active fighter, like, she was the female fighter. Some of that had to do with her looks. She wasn't an angry lesbian. She was a pretty heterosexual woman, and lots of people like to watch her fight. She was aesthetically attractive. She's also something of a skilled fighter, too, so props to her. So here we go. Betting markets for the co-main event. Brought to you by DraftKings. And it's Kenny Kenflo Florian and L. Duncan again at the commentary desk. Ken Florian is talking about... he's talking about the betting. And, of course, let's see... they've got the odds for the decision, the submission, KO, TKO, DQ. End of the day, it looks like Mike is a slight favorite. If it goes to a KO, Nate obviously is an enormous favorite to win by submission because of his jiu-jitsu. Decisions typically don't go Nate's way. But think of it as Mike Perry, he doesn't appear to be that good on the ground, at least not as good as Nate Diaz. So if Nate Diaz is smart, he'll try to get this to the ground. Mike Perry thrives standing. Go where your strengths are if you're in a fight. If you're a good grappler, take it to the ground. If you're a good striker, keep it standing, defend the takedowns. This fight is pretty straightforward. You got two guys who like to bang, and one of them is capable of getting a submission on the ground. So we'll see if this is the fourth fight in a row that ends via knockout tonight. So we'll see. We've been going for 2 hours now, and I swear these Netflix commercials are the worst. They're using Uranus, the planet, for obvious reasons, for dude wipes. Then we got Total Wireless phone service for people with shitty credit. I'll let you guess what the skin tone of their targeted demographic is based on the ad. So, if you don't want to pay your bills, go with Total Wireless. They have Samsung on sale. And the Burrows. Apparently there's a new horror story or horror show on Netflix. The Burrows. Whatever that is. Oh. I guess this is supposed to be the new American Horror Story or whatever. So Diaz versus Perry is up next. Let's see how this goes. I am going to grab another PBR, non-alcoholic beer. So here we go. Diaz is 41 years old. Perry is 34. Diaz has a 3-inch weight advantage. 21-13, 17 wins by way of KO or submission. Mike Perry is 14-8. 11 of his 14 wins coming by way of knockout. 0 submissions. So Nick apparently has his own MMA gym now, Nick Diaz Academy. Good for him. Diaz brothers, everyone loves them. You're not American if you don't love the Diaz brothers. And then, of course, Mike Perry, he always puts on a good fight. He goes out on a shield or he sends somebody else out on a shield. He's a violent dude. If he weren't in MMA, he'd definitely be in prison. That's a dude who got into a fight in my old law school town, Lubbock, Texas. Somebody was stupid enough to tie up with Mike Perry. And apparently, Mike Perry lit him up, as expected. This dude who has very few skills outside of fighting or very little identity outside of fighting. This is a dude who will be fighting when he's 60. Like, you get that impression when you watch his interviews and everything. Like, this is a dude who will be fighting when he's a senior citizen just because that's all he knows how to do. To each their own, if he lives that long. Mike Perry lives by the sword and he will die by the sword. It is that simple. So here's Mike Perry. He isn't wearing one of those gay-ass robes. He's just got a jersey of some sort with his name emblazoned across the back of it. And the number 24, he's got the face tattoo. His hair's all gelled up in like a mohawk. Typical Mike Perry shit. I'm sure he'll take a significant amount of his purse and go get more tattoos. He kisses a blonde at ringside. That woman has nothing to worry about when she goes out with Mike Perry. Mike Perry is a violent man. Win, lose, or draw. And you kind of got to respect that, You kind of just... He seems like a dude who's evenly weighted. He's got a chip on both shoulders. And this is all he knows how to do. I don't picture Mike Perry being in the National Honor Society in school. Maybe he'd work construction, something like that. But just not a lot of options for Mike Perry. Mike Perry should have been born in the Dark Ages. That's a guy who clearly needs to be on a battlefield somewhere. So, Nate Diaz, founder of the bad motherfucker title, the BMF title, 3rd degree jiu-jitsu black belt, and pot enthusiast. He's one of those dudes that pot did not mellow out. And as he says, I'm the baddest motherfucker. I do whatever I want. Can't argue with that. He thinks he's better than everybody everywhere. Can always depend on Nate to deliver the promos. Giving tall, skinny guys hope that they'll whoop some ass. Because Nate Diaz does. So does his brother Nick. Good times. So Nate is coming out first, which is kind of a surprise. I don't know why they would have him walk out first. But they are having him walk out first, and Mike Perry's walking out second. Remember when I was a kid, like the jobber always walked out first, like on WWF, which is now WWE, like Saturday Morning Wrestling. So you pretty much knew who was going to lose by who walked out first. And, you know, it is MVP. It is a Jake Paul production. Hope they're not setting up Nate to take the fall. But I wouldn't put it past him to have fixed fights. We'll see. It is Jake Paul, MVP. But it's been a pretty good fight card so far. Big John McCarthy dapping up Nate on the outside. Nate, Team Diaz wearing his apparel. There's the cut guy. Forget his name. Magnificent beard. Had some beef with the UFC back in the day. I think he got banned. Nate's cut man got banned. We'll see. Here's my wife. Hey, honey, you're on speaker.
Hi, sweetie. I want my snuggles.
Huh?
I want my snuggles.
Well, you're going to get your snuggles like when the fights are over.
Oh.
You should come down here.
Well, I'm going to bed because I got to get up really early.
Well, I'll come and snuggle with you when the fights are over.
All right.
I'm sorry, honey.
Don't wake me up.
I'm not going to wake you up. You'll be awake. You'll be doing your process. Playing on your devices.
I'm getting tired right now, so I think I might go to bed a little early.
We'll see.
Okay.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's my wife. She agreed. She agreed to come and watch the fights with me. And now she's pushing me to come upstairs for snuggles during the middle of the Diaz-Perry fight. What kind of nonsense is this? She said she'd watch the fights. Should have known better. Women tell you what they want to hear. What you want to hear. They tell you that shit all the time. Such is life. It's been a pretty good Saturday night. Inaugural edition of Sportsball 101. And the fighters are in the cage. There's Mike Perry. No one has ever looked like they belong in a mugshot as much as Mike Perry. Like, no insult to him or anything, no disrespect, but that dude looks the part. And so here we go. They're going to drag out the introductions as long as they can because it's an MVP Netflix gig. And so here we go. After this fight, it'll be Carano and Rousey, which will either end in an armbar or Rhonda getting pieced up on the feet because Gina's a better striker. So if Rhonda doesn't get her to the ground, Rhonda's going to get wrecked. So we'll see how that fight turns out. And here's Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz doing a bicep flex. Nate is a legend. Always entertaining. always takes a lot of damage. Does not have great striking defense, but does not get knocked out. Like, it's always amazing the punishment that guy can take. So here we have referee two braids, two long braids from his beard down the front of his shirt, and the fight is about to begin. This is one of the fights that we've been anticipating and looking forward to since this fight card was announced. And it's Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. Mike goes out to the middle of the cage. Nick immediately does a front kick to the body. Mike Perry he's got bad intentions. He is immediately moving to make huge strikes to crowd Nick Diaz, which is where his success will lie. Like, if he wants to get this done, he's going to have to stand in the pocket with Nick and crowd Nick and not give Nick any space whatsoever to get his jabs off. And usually Nick's a pretty slow starter. So let's see if Mike Perry can. Oh, Nick with an overhand. Mike has him from behind. Oh, Nick throws him. And Nick now has him. Oh, Mike, you don't want to go to the ground with Nick. This is the thing about Mike Perry. Like, he is not known for going to the ground and having a lot of success. But Nick, he's going for an armbar. Nick going for the leg. Going for the leg, going for a heel hook of some sort. He's got his legs triangled around Mike's left leg. So he's got that leg trapped, and Mike has to push off here. Mike wants it to go back up to the feet. It's a wise move by Mike Perry. I think Nate Diaz will give you fits, but Mike can't stand at distance. Mike has got to go in. Looks like Mike be a little tired from that exchange. Like at the beginning, he might have expended all of his energy, which is a problem for Mike because Nate Diaz has endless cardio. He has endless conditioning. And Nate just content to walk, let Mike wear himself out. Oh, good body shot. That's a huge right to the body. He may have hurt Nate there. Mike with the pressure, just constantly. Nate just walking away from him. Another big body shot on the way in. I don't care who you are, those hurt. And if Mike wants to be smart about it, he's going to have to come back. He's going to have to do that all night. Looks like Nate is feeling some fatigue, too. He's taken a couple of huge body shots. Mike has a 19-8 advantage in strikes. Oh, another good shot to the face by Mike Perry. This is the thing about Mike Perry. He's a good striker, but you can beat on Nick Diaz, or you can beat on Nate Diaz all night with these strikes and not get anywhere. You got to conserve your energy. So if he's smart, he's going to chop at Nate's legs and he's going to chop at that body. Nate's getting into a little rhythm with a jab right now. Not getting a lot of power behind it, but he is connecting, and it looks like Nate's got a cut. That's always been the problem with Nate, is he's got a cut over his right eye. And he's throwing the jab, but he's having to wipe that blood away. How many of you watching this have ever had blood in your eye? It sucks. Looks like Mike's got a little bit of a cut on his face as well. He's been eating that jab. This thing about Mike, good shin to the rib cage right there by Mike Perry. Here's Mike Perry. He's game. He's game to trade all night. Like Nate, a little sloppy there. Like a little knee to the body there by Mike Perry. Ooh, combo by Nate. Backs Perry up. Nate walking around with his hands on his hip. This is another good body shot. But Nate tries to clinch. The money for Mike Perry is to keep the pressure on Nick, to stay in close quarters, and to hit him in the body on the way in. That's how he wins this fight, and keeping it off of the ground. So we come to the end of the first round. This is the first fight that has lasted beyond the first round on this card, which is kind of what you suspected. You kind of suspected it might go to decision. But it is action-packed. I mean, both of these guys were throwing the entire time. There wasn't a dull moment. There was not a break in the action of this fight. So Diaz and Perry living up to billing. And of course, Diaz, he has Stitch. That's the nickname of the corner man that got banned from the UFC. Stitch, working the cuts in a fight like this. If you're Nate Diaz, you wanna have a good. I don't know why they're focusing on Jake Paul dancing with his girlfriend, the Dutch speed cater, Utah Leerdam, I believe. Here we go for round two. Round one was a barn burner, as we expected it to be. So let's go for round two here. Let's see. The fighters go to the center of the ring. Diaz with a couple of lazy kicks. If Perry with his own little lazy front kick up the middle. Perry's smart. He's going to the body, but Diaz is moving laterally. Diaz with a little jab. And Perry gets inside. He lands a few shots. Perry with the Superman punch attempt. Huge technique, it is not. Like, neither one of these guys really slips punches. But Diaz is a volume puncher, and if he connects with those jabs enough as time goes on, and this is a 5-round fight, that accumulates over time. But I think Mike Perry has figured out that Diaz can't really hurt him with any of those strikes. And Diaz continues to jab and paw at Perry. Only one of those 3 jabs connect. Oh, 2 jabs connect in a row. This is the risk for Mike Perry if he stands at distance. He's going to eat jab after jab after jab. He has to get inside, and the way to do that is to go with the uppercut or the hook to the body. Oh, good. Good combos. Driving Diaz back to the fence. Oh, here's just better technique. Ooh, elbow by Mike Perry. And this is what Mike Perry has to do. He has to keep the pressure. He has to stay in close quarters. He's got to fight in a phone booth with Nick with Nate, and hope that this fight doesn't go to the ground, because if it goes to the ground, like Perry's toast. Like, Nate has cuts. He's bloody over his right eye. Already got some swelling, but this is Nate Diaz we're talking about. Like, every single one of his fights, some scar tissue opens up, and he's a blood-drenched mess by the end of it, and somehow manages to win. So here we go. We got Mike Perry realizing Nate can't hurt him. Mike Perry has Nate's back. He's got a clinch. Tries to kick him from behind. Tries a front kick. Tries to get the toe in Nate's eyes, and briefly looked like he was going for a rear naked choke. But Nate is a bloody mess, and Mike appears to be content to stand on the outside and wait. Nate is just not active enough. He's not throwing enough jabs. Like, the reality of it is, if he's going to win this, he needs to get it to the ground. He's going to lose by decision if it keeps up at this pace. Like, credit to Mike Perry. Ooh, good jab down the middle, but Mike Perry makes him pay for it. Going to the ground again. Oh, Mike Perry and his guard. This is always a dangerous place for Mike Perry. But Mike Perry loves danger. So Mike Perry is the maestro of violence. Like, he loves this shit. So Mike Perry doing some ground and pound from the top. Nate not pulling him into guard. Not really doing anything. Like, Mike has won this round just based on striking. So they're back to their feet. And Nate has blood on the back of his head, down his back. Nate is leaking, and there's always a chance that this fight could be a doctor stoppage just based on the cuts. And obviously Nate is covered in blood. This is the risk that you run when you're Nate Diaz and you get in there with somebody who's just a pure striker. So Nate is grabbing the cage, doing like lazy kicks, doing anything he can to keep Mike off of him. He's, again, grabbing the cage, looking for that side kick, which is kind of a push kick to get Mike off of him. But Mike, he's got to fight in a phone booth. He's got to continue doing what he's doing right now. He's already won the round on points. Oh, good leg kick by Mike. Nate just doesn't have anything. He's getting pieced up. Like, he's a bloody mess, probably can't see. Ooh, Nate took a shot to the head and went down. He took a knee to the head and went down, but he was saved by the bell there. And the doctors are going to be taking a look at that cut. Stitch can only do so much. You got to avoid those kind of strikes. You got to throw jabs, push kicks. You got to keep Mike Perry off of you if you're Nate Diaz. You got to go to the ground. And it looks like that cut is higher up on the forehead, like almost on the hairline. That's where Stitch is putting the pressure with the Q-tip or whatever. That's where he's leaking, and that's a bad place for a cut. I mean, that is visibly leaking on the stool. And it looks like they're waving the fight off because of the cut. They ended the fight based on the cut. So, anticlimactic, but still a finish. And Nate's just got a lot of mileage, man. He's got a lot of mileage, a lot of scar tissue. And so he bleeds. Like, probably made a good bit of money, but there was nothing that could be done about that cut. He was leaking like a faucet. That is unfortunate. Mike Perry going over to show respect, bowing to Nate's corner. But here comes, you got to stay. If you're Nate, like, the biggest thing is to, you got to use your push kicks and your jab to keep somebody like Mike Perry off of you, and that just did not happen tonight. Obviously, the cut, when you get blood in your eye, I can tell you from experience, that's a pain in the ass in an actual fight. Like, even if you're just sparring, it sucks. And Nate was leaking like a faucet everywhere. So even when Stitches are in your corner, there's nothing you can do about that. So Mike Perry picks up his 12th knockout at the expense of Nate Diaz, legend. Good fight while it lasted. Only fight that made it beyond the first round. So, props to MVP Productions. They're putting on a fight card where none of these fights are going the distance. And so next up, we've got the pièce de résistance. We've got Rousey and Carano. So I'm going to go up and give my wife some of her time before the main event. Give her a few minutes. Man, that wasn't the bloodbath that I expected over 5 rounds. I didn't think it was going to end in a knockout. But Nate just has too many miles and too much scar tissue for this. Especially, that's a bad matchup for him. Mike Perry, who's just always going to bring the pressure. So we'll see you after the break. And we're back on the live stream. The inaugural episode of Sportsball 101, where we're talking about the Rousey Carano fight, which is up next. So I'll be doing a live commentary on that. So, obligatory panning to the crowd of celebrities. Apparently there's a new show on Netflix called Nemesis. So they showed the two actors from that show. Good times. Thanks to everyone who tuned in sporadically throughout the night. Didn't expect huge viewership for this. But it's Saturday night. I wanted to include those who wanted to be included on the live stream of tonight's fight. Or at least the live stream killer commentary on tonight's fight. So, we saw Junior Dos Santos get knocked out in the first fight. So, all 4 fights so far have ended in finishes. So, we'll see. Of course, there are these commercial breaks on Netflix. Ad 205. Good grief. So, Tremaya, reductions in bowel movements and rectal bleeding might occur. I don't know what this is for, but that doesn't sound like a good side effect. Oh, visible repair of their intestinal lining. So I'm guessing this has to do with people who can't eat gluten or any type of food without having some sort of bathroom emergency. What a shitty condition to have, like IBS or Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. What a terrible, terrible thing to be afflicted with. Like, gotta hate it for all the people who are like shitting their pants, like running to the bathroom. They have that kind of an issue. It's gotta suck. And of course, we're now dealing with an ad for Gusto, whatever that is. And Man on Fire, great movie by Denzel Washington, apparently being adapted for Netflix. So, Yahya Abdul something or other is the main actor, and he looks the part. He looks like a dude who goes shove an explosive suppository up somebody's ass, like the original character Creasy did in the movie. Good times. Good times. And here's Gina Carano dancing with somebody backstage. Rhonda is sparring and rolling with somebody backstage. So, the keys to this fight, if Gina can keep it off of the ground, she can avoid the takedowns and piece Rhonda up striking, she wins. Rhonda gets it to the ground. Don't see a lot of opportunity for Gina to escape Rhonda's world-class judo, especially the armbar. Though Gina has acquitted herself well on the ground in the past for the limited sample size that we saw. But this is definitely a fight that will be determined by whether or not Gina Carano can stay off the ground with Ronda Rousey. If Ronda Rousey stands in the pocket with her and trades, Ronda gets destroyed. Ronda's striking sucks. There's no nice way to put that. I don't know who taught her how to strike, but they should be fired for malpractice as a trainer. Like, there's no reason to be that terrible as a professional fighter at striking, but Ronda Rousey's striking is absolutely god awful. So, oh man, it's Saturday night, and you are up at 9:30 at night with Sportsball 101. So we thank everybody who's watching. Hit that subscribe button, if you will. I got invited to join the YouTube partner program today. So we're well on our way in terms of like viewing hours and subscriptions to monetizing this channel, which will help support all the work we do on our Substacks, investigations and ritual abuse, church sex predators, government sex predators, all of it. So, anti-tribe, fringe concerns, good times. So thanks to everybody who has subscribed already, or who subscribes to us on Substack, or gives us traffic over at investigationsandritualabuse.com. Down in the bottom, you'll see the Chiron with all of the addresses for all of our sites, plus our YouTube channel. This is Sportsball 101. And so it looks... Oh, Kat Zingano was there. Kat Zingano, who made Amanda Nunes quit with her wrestling. Amanda didn't want that smoke. But who also messed up royally when she got her opportunity to fight Ronda Rousey, got submitted within no time. Left herself open. Unfortunately, Kat Zingano was a hard luck individual. Like, her husband committed suicide. Mauricio Zingano, I think his name was. And for a period of time, she was doing the OnlyFans stuff. And that sucks. She really needed money. But unfortunately, that's the way things go in our society. Perfectly qualified women in other areas wind up being on OnlyFans. Sad. But be that as it may, we're about to have the main event, which everyone's been waiting for. That is Gina Carano, after more than a decade absence, and Ronda Rousey, after her career in the UFC ended with 2 consecutive knockout losses to Holly Holm and then to Amanda Nunes. That head kick by Holly Holm, always going to live in infamy. That's what sucks about being an MMA fighter. Your worst moments are on the internet forever. Like, your kids will always see you getting head kicked by Holly Holm. And they'll always see you getting beat down by Amanda Nunes. So, that's the risk you take. Live by the sword, die by the sword. So, Sportsball 101. We're waiting for Rousey and Carano to come out. And here's Kat Zingano, legend in the sport, never got the gold over at the UFC, but was always a problem. And then eventually fell off. You see the backstage footage of Ronda Rousey in her black hoodie. Here's Gina Carano in her tank top, her MMA shorts, walking around backstage. circling where the hour approacheth. And so here we go. We've got, is this CM Punk? Yeah, CM Punk of the WWE is being interviewed right now. He had a short-lived career as Phil Brooks in MMA. Trained under Duke Rufus for a bit, and just was not meant to be an MMA fighter. But here is CM Punk opining on how Ronda Rousey wins. So CM Punk waving to the camera like a cheesehead. He's doing a close-up. Alicia Baumgardner, one of the most ferocious women's boxers. There's Dax Shepard. He's ringside. Here we go. I don't know who that is. Chinese. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. Is that Carmen Electra? Yes. Carmen Electra. Here's James Cameron of Titanic, Terminator, and Avatar fame. Oh, David Spade. That's just what they should do. They should have David Spade do a Hollywood minute at an MMA fight. There's Michael Irvin again. Michael Irvin. And of course, the stream crashed. They're having trouble with it, so let's see. Watch live. Michael Irvin's still on the screen. Wouldn't it be so MVP and so Netflix if this stream crashed right as the main event was going on? I think it would be. I absolutely think that would be fitting for tonight. So, of course, DraftKings wants you to gamble, so we're talking about the betting odds with L. Duncan and Kenny Florian. So all you gambling degenerates, you can look at all the odds and know that Rousey is the clear favorite across decision, submission, KO, TKO, or DQ. Everybody's counting Gina Carano out, but let's see if Gina Carano is motivated to redeem herself after her career ended at the hands of Chris Cyborg. See if she can set up a rematch with Cyborg. How awesome would that be? And of course, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. She's a one-trick pony, but that one trick was something that nobody could solve. The armbar, the judo, and grappling. As long as she stuck with that, she was going to be untouchable. But she made the mistake of thinking she could strike, and that doesn't work against the likes of Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. So now we have to deal with the DraftKings commercial for all the gambling junkies and degenerates who want to bet on sports. I think I am avowedly against gambling unless it occurs at the kitchen table, like on a poker night, and it's for like quarters or whatever. So I think there's nothing wrong with a little friendly sports bet between friends. But when it becomes a professional thing at a casino or online, it becomes a bit of a problem. Because there are all these people who don't know when to stop. But Credit One Bank, I guess that's Capital One's parent. Here is, they're going to put Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua on Netflix. And finally, two British guys are going to fight each other. So we'll see which one of these irrelevant Brits wins the Battle of Britain. And I guess this is the He-Man adaptation. Yep, looks like it. Yep, He-Man. That guy's going to go to Comic-Con and hook up with so many girls. So many nerds are going to, let their girls hook up with him. All those little comic book geeks are a bunch of cuckold, sexual perverts and degenerates. Please, He-Man, do my wife, do my girlfriend. Sure, a fair amount of them are Mormon. Mormon men are into that kind of shit, too. Bunch of damn swingers in the city of Utah. Outside of Utah, Mormons are pretty great. Inside of Utah, a lot of Mormons are terrible. Sexual deviants. So, Gina Carano was the trailblazer who paved the way for Ronda Rousey. Who paved the way for people like Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes. So, I'd like to see Ronda Rousey go in against Valentina Shevchenko. That's kind of one of my dream matchups. Because let's see if Shevchenko can piece Rhonda up or beat her on the ground. Honestly, I think Shevchenko has the best chance on the ground against Rousey. Shevchenko is just a really complete fighter. So, of course, they're doing the video of the two, Gina, Rhonda, little trailer. And see if Gina can come back, do another season of The Mandalorian or some other such thing. Get her acting career back on track after she pissed off all the trannies. And saying her pronouns were fee, fi, fo, and fum. Which, honestly, I don't see why that was such a big deal, but it was. That's how silly we've become as a country. As a world, even. So here's Gina Carano. She's coming out first. This does not bode well for Gina. The guys who have come out first have pretty much lost tonight's fight. Because apparently they're following the old WWF, WWE Sunday morning format. The first guy to walk out is the one who loses. So we're going to see if it's another one of those things. Hope not. Gina, wish you the best. Stay off the ground. But they're lauding her, giving her flowers for laying the foundation for all these women fighters. And, of course, there she is. She's getting her Vaseline on her eyebrows and everything else. Let's see if Rhonda tries to clinch and take her down. If Rhonda's smart, that's what's going to happen. She's going to clinch. She's going to go for the arm bar, a submission. And so we'll see. And if they stand, Gina's going to kill her. Like, Gina has the ability to put her down. Like, Gina's a better striker. But we'll see if Gina's gotten over the psychological trauma of how she lost to Chris Cyborg. And, of course, there's Rowdy Ronda Rousey. We're doing a little video trailer of her. Here we go. They got to draw it out as long as they can. Rhonda being a hell of a judokai. And that part of her game was something that no female fighter ever really solved. If she stuck with the judo, like, she was untouchable. But the fact that she stood in front of Holly Holm, who's a pretty complete striker, Amanda Nunes is the same thing, like, why would you get into a striking match or a firefight with someone who's just got better hands? But it is Ronda Rousey, and she genuinely believes she could strike with the best, and she was wrong. Absolutely 100% wrong. Ronda's walking out to the cage. Oh, she's got that killer look on her face. She's doing what Rhonda does. She's trying to look fierce. Here's the thing. Like, if she stands and she tries to pull off those WWE punches that she was pulling off that looked fake as hell, she is going to get destroyed. She's put on some muscle mass. I'll say that much for her. She looks a little bit bigger than she did when she was in the UFC. There's her husband, Travis. He was a middling UFC heavyweight. And then apparently she has a different trainer than she used to have. It's probably a good thing, given her striking game under him. So here we go. She was the Strikeforce bantamweight champion. She went over to UFC. The UFC bought Strikeforce, and the UFC started to have a women's division. So here we go. Ronda Rousey is entering the cage. She is bowing, as is customary for a judokai. And she's doing her thing out of the blue corner. She's in the crouch. She's got the whole ferocious facial expression. See if that carries over to the fight. So let's see. This is either going to go long or it's going to be very short, because if she gets Carano to the ground, I don't see Carano being able to fend off her judo. And if it stays standing, Rousey's in for a long night. She has no striking. So we'll see if Carano has a takedown defense to avoid the takedowns or the things that Rousey can do as an Olympic bronze medalist in judo. Judges: Michael Bell, Derek Cleary, Felicia O. Not like any of us expect this to go to the scorecards, but those are the judges if it does. And here is Gina Carano. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. I firmly think that the ring orders should be men for like women's fights. Because, equal opportunity. But then again, a lot of women's MMA fighters are clearly lesbians. So Carano's out of the red corner. 4 of her 7 victories came by way of a finish, either the 3 KOs or the 1 sub. She's fighting out of Las Vegas MMA, or Las Vegas, Nevada. Apparently Syndicate MMA. I thought, as I said earlier in this live stream, that she was fighting out of Extreme Couture, but they said that her teammate fought out of Syndicate MMA. So apparently things have changed. So the original face of women's MMA, Gina Carano. And then the crowd shot, the crowd pan. Here we go. Doing all the lights for all the epileptics. And there's Rhonda. Rhonda has been living that farm life, so she's put on some muscle mass. She's been shoveling and brushing that chicken shit and building those arms. So we'll see if that translates to greater strength in her judo game. Here we go. Call him to the center of the cage already. So we'll see. So here we go. She's an icon, they said. An icon. So here we go. I got a training at 8 tomorrow with somebody. Assuming my health holds up. Nothing goes wrong. So here we go. We're about to get it on. Here we go. Oh. Immediately, Rousey goes for the takedown, and she's on top. She's got full mount against Carano. And she's going for the, quick tap. Knew that was going to happen. Rousey immediately goes for the takedown, immediately secures the armbar, gets the tap. If Rousey had stuck with that, she probably would still be undefeated today. Nobody has a defense for her judo. Like I said, unless it's somebody like Valentina Shevchenko, I don't see anybody having any defense for her on the ground. And, of course, they're hugging and crying because, that's what women do after somebody tries to break your arm in a fight. Oh, it's a sisterhood. It's this, it's that. That didn't even last 10 seconds. So, sorry, Gina. You kind of blew that. You had to know, like, the takedown was coming. That had to be obvious. So, that's, they say it's a sold-out crowd, but didn't look very sold out to me earlier. Who knows? But Gina Carano talking about her depression, being overweight. She was inspired to get in shape. And all the hugs and kisses and everything else. But at the end of the day, I don't think this even lasted since... Oh, right away. She had the headlock, but as soon as Rousey popped out, that shit was over. Rousey went for the armbar, got full extension, locked it in. Come on. You had to know takedowns were coming. Had to know the armbar was coming. That's really the only tool in Rousey's arsenal that... And to her credit, Rousey was smart. She went, leaned on her judo. which is her bread and butter. That's her path back to relevance. So this has been Sportsball 101. It's been a night of fights on Netflix. All finishes. So, can't complain about much. It's on Netflix. It's covered in your subscription. We'll see you next time. This is Sportsball 101. Thanks for watching.